Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Joanne. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you so much for always coming back to my channel. I really do appreciate it. Those of you returning already know that I'm a nursing student at RUDN University, which is also known as the People's Friendship University. This is one of the biggest and well-known universities here in Russia, with so many international students from over 100 countries. RUDN University has so many hostels ranging from $15 to $190, and today I'll be taking you on a tour to check out some of these hostels and what they look like. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe and also put on a notification bell so you can stay updated when I post great and amazing contents like this one. We'll be starting our tour from one of the cheapest hostels in RUDN, which is about 1,247 rubles, and that is like $16 based on the current exchange rate. There was an increase in all the hostel fees of late because this hostel initially was about $13. For visitations, RUDN students are asked to scan their QR codes, and outsiders are asked to fill a particular document to show hours of visitation. The person you're coming to visit also has to let you in, and this is really good for security reasons. The hostels at RUDN have stores where you can get things from, but they are quite pricey compared to regular stores and supermarkets. This is the study room for this hostel. It's very good for students who want some quiet time during their study hours, but it's very small and often full, especially during exams, so not many students can use it at a time. Most of the rooms in the cheap hostels at RUDN are usually for 4 people with about 2 or 3 tables and a wardrobe to be shared by the students. One of the downsides of these types of rooms is that they are usually crowded and there is not enough space for students to keep their things. This is what the kitchen in this hostel looks like. There are 2 electric cookers and a microwave which is used by all the students on this particular floor. The downside to these types of kitchen is that there are no shelves or even cupboards to store food items, and it's very inconveniencing because you have to carry all your foodstuffs to the kitchen when you want to cook. There are a lot of students in this hostel, so each floor has its own washroom. The bathrooms and toilets in this hostel are similar to the one in the next, so I'll be showing you later. The students aren't allowed to keep their dryers on the corridors of each floors. And as you can see, this place is really crowded because all the students in this hostel are expected to use this particular laundry room. There is a gym in front of this hostel which a lot of students use during the summer. It'd be really great if there were gyms in the hostels because during the winter it's actually very cold and students can't make use of the outdoor gyms. This is the second cheapest hostel in RUDN with a monthly fee of 3,700 rubles, which is about $45 at the current exchange rate. This is the hostel's waiting area. It's very comfy and it's a really great spot for students to relax. I really love the aesthetics in this hostel. The rooms in this hostel have bunk beds with tables underneath them, which helps save space. I'm not a fan of top bunk beds, so this isn't somewhere I'd personally want to stay, but it's a great room for people who'd love to have their personal reading tables. The kitchen in this hostel has a bigger sink and more electric cookers, but neither one has any cupboards, so there really isn't much difference between them. There are about 5 toilets on each floor shared by a lot of students. The cleaners do a great job cleaning them every day, but unfortunately some students don't keep them clean, so honestly hygiene is like a big problem with these types of hostels. Now we're going to go see the main reason I don't like this particular hostel. We're on our way to the bathroom, which is all the way underground. Some hostels in RUDN have this kind of setup, and for me it's a hard no. First off, there's no elevator, so if you live on the 5th floor, you have to walk all the way down with all your shower stuff. Sometimes you can even see people through the windows on the stairs heading down to shower, so there's zero privacy here. Another thing I hate about the bathrooms is that they are usually locked at 12 p.m. and they aren't open until 3 p.m. So if a girl has a period and needs to shower during that time, she just has to wait, so that is very, very inconveniencing. Honestly, the bathroom situation in this hostel is an absolute deal breaker for me because it's very inconveniencing and there's no privacy. It's basically a daily subscription to premium headache and stress. This is one of the most expensive hostels at RUDN University. It has the biggest kitchen compared to the previous ones, but it doesn't have any shelves or cupboard. A 4-person room here costs 9,000 rubles, which is about $108, and a 2-person room costs between $150 and $180. The washing machines here in this hostel are actually free to use, unlike in other hostels where you have to pay for them. One thing I like about this hostel is that the bathrooms and toilets aren't shared by the whole floor, but they are just for people in specific rooms. This is another pricey hostel at RUDN University with different types of rooms and different fees. The kitchen here is big and spacious like the previous one. Despite having no cupboards or shelves, it's actually a great setting because when there are a lot of students cooking at the same time, it won't be overcrowded. The rooms in this particular hostel have an apartment setting, so unlike the other hostels that are very cheap with shared bathrooms, they have their own private bathrooms and toilets. This is a 2-person room which costs 10,241 rubles, and that's about $122 at the current exchange rate. A 3-person room in this hostel costs 8,000 rubles, which is about $95. I recently found out that there are also 1-person rooms in this hostel for PhD students which cost 32,000 rubles, and that's around $400 depending on the exchange rate. This is the price of a full month's rent for some apartments. However, some people might choose to stay here because the hostel provides official registration, which can be much harder to get when renting an apartment as a foreigner in Russia. Some of the rooms in this hostel have their own washing machine, but this is the area where the shared washing machines are kept. Payments can be made using either cash, card, or coins, and it's actually very convenient to use. The downside to this general washing machine is that it's always in use because there are a lot of students in the hostel, so most times you have to wait for a very long time before you can wash your clothes. This hostel also has an apartment setting just like the previous one. There are different types with 1 or 2 or 3 bedrooms, but in this particular apartment there are 4 bedrooms with a total of 10 students because the rooms have different number of students. The bathrooms and toilets here are also private just like the previous hostel. There are no cleaners in these types of hostels, so students have to create a cleaning roster to ensure that it's kept clean at all times. This is a really great way to make sure that students are accountable for their own hygiene. I love the kitchen in this particular hostel because it has proper shelves and it's the most convenient amongst all the other hostels. The downside to it is that there's just one electric cooker, so sometimes students have to wait a while before they can cook because it's not enough. Unlike the cheaper hostels, there are no study rooms in hostels with apartment settings like this one, so students can choose to either study in the kitchen or in their rooms. This is a 2-person room which costs 6,042 rubles, and that's about $72 at the current exchange rate. It has a large wardrobe shared by 2 students and 2 separate reading tables. I personally prefer this hostel over the others because I think it has a better setup than the other more expensive hostels here at RUDN, and it's more comfortable since it doesn't have bunk beds. Personally, I think the hostels at RUDN are overpriced because I've seen other hostels at different universities here in Moscow with similar setup but at a much cheaper rate. Let me know what you think about these hostels in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye.